Ethan on a 6-card hand. I guess looking at what I think he would like to have, something like turn 1 Noble, turn 2 Path to Exile, turn 3 Company. That seems like a recipe for success.
Yeah, that would be a good mixture. And Zan on the play, that's kind of a big deal. This matchup largely just a damage race. It's kind of neat seeing Zan so quickly after winning a Modern Open with Infect, reaching for a new deck.
I have never had the courage to do that. Even when I know when I win and my deck's not great, I just feel like, it's like until it loses, I just can't put it down, right?
Yeah, Lightning might strike twice.
It's like, you got to beat the champ to become the champ.
And both players starting with Noble Hierarch. Ooh, big miss for Zan. No second land
He missed
drop.
land 2. Well, being on the play is not going to matter much when you miss the land drop.
Right.
We do have a result in very quickly. It makes sense. I guess Sneak and Show, Bob Huang up 1-0 over Nicholas Loden. Sneak and Show can do that.
Yeah, it can.
And the problem is in this damage race, missing a land drop, I mean, you're going to see just how bad it is here. Turn 2, we have Noble Hierarch, Thalia's Lieutenant, and Zan makes a Rattle Chains.
Lieutenant just pumping Hierarchs is not that scary, though with Zan's mana development stunted, he needs to get a lot more going on than just this Rattle Chains.
Well, he kind of draws a land. Here's Noble Hierarch. He'll attack with Rattle Chains for 4, actually.
Notably, though, Zan's mana base tends to deal more damage to him than Ethan's does.
I'm going to check off attacking creature gets exalted.
Oh, that's just always there, isn't it?
Yeah, that one, we usually check that one
I guess
off.
if I don't have it, that means you have it. I'm going to get 5 creatures attacking at once in this game. It's going to happen.
Could. I don't know. They have to swing with these Noble Hierarchs. Both players have 2.
They're already 1/2s, We're halfway there.
Back over to Ethan's side. Consults a bit with Daniel Cudkowic. Casts Meddling Mage. Here's the first big decision for him.
Probably a lot of conversation about what to name with Meddling Mage in the modern format when you play against the more fringe decks.
Well, he's going to name Spell Queller.
It is a good name, because despite having Cavern of Souls, Spell Queller could still hit humans. It just exiles the spell.
And it's going to be Aether Vial for Ethan. An attack with the Thalia's Lieutenant. It will exalt up to 4 power. And the last card's a Reflector Mage, as Mausoleum Wanderer put into play for Zan. Yeah, and Ethan, rather than casting Reflector Mage, decides to go for Aether Vial and leave up mana for that Horizon Canopy he played.
Zan has that Wanderer into turn, but he's going to need to start getting some Lords down if he wants to win this damage race.
Yeah, I mean, Wander's, the ability doesn't really matter here. It's a Spirit, so it gets pumped by Lords. It's not too bad to have in that regard, but doesn't race well.
Right.
Rattle Chains in, rattles on in for 4 more. Ethan down to 12. And just a pass for Zan. He is still stuck on that 1 land.
Does get the flash in Spirits, which means he could be representing something like a Drogskull Captain here. Access to 3 mana now.
Sure. I mean, and I like that, especially with a card like Reflector Mage in Ethan's hand. Ethan draws Thalia. No fear of Spell Queller. 3 mana, we'll see Reflector Mantis Rider make it. Not bad at all here.
Yeah, with those 2 Hierarchs, he could just fly at for 5. Could even just start attacking with Lieutenant plus Mantis Rider.
Yeah. What Ethan would have to worry about, I think, is Zan managing a combination of flying attackers plus chump blockers to win the race. Mantis Rider is really great in this regard because now Ethan has the air covered.
Right. And these Noble Hierarchs in a lot of games, eventually Zan pretty comfortable chump blocking with them, but that's 2/3 of his mana sources.
Yeah.
He's not really interested in making blocks with them anytime soon.
He swings with just Mantis Rider. He's really respecting Rattle Chains here. Zan goes to 8 and end step flashes Supreme Phantom. There we go. Supreme Phantom into play. That'll pump the Wanderer and the Rattle Chains. Zan's down to 8, however.
Gets to make bigger attacks into the Mantis Rider.
Yeah.
Outside of that blocker, The Rattle Chains connects for 5 currently.
Yeah, swings in, so Ethan down to 7.
It's a little bit shy of a 2-turn clock, which is not ideal.
Well, Zan has a Drogskull Captain in hand to flash into play. We go back over to Ethan.
That'll be good to flash into play in response to a Reflector Mage hitting something.
All right, so Bob, remember, we don't want to play against Bob Huang and Legacy, right? Okay. What's 44 minutes on the clock?
Yeah.
All right, 2-0, sneak and show.
I guess if I'm really hungry, I want to play against Bob Huang because I get a long lunch break.
I can't even shuffle that fast.
I'm supposed to get 3 minutes between games.
Right, like. All right.
Here's Kitesail Freebooter for Ethan King, and Zan shows a hand. Couple Spell Quellers, another Supreme Phantom, and a Drogskull Captain.
Well, that Meddling Mage is doing work.
Yeah. And then the Kitesail Freebooter does get a Collected Company.
So if I was in Bob Huang's spot, I would probably just say to my teammates, all right, guys, I'm getting dinner and just leave now.
Yeah. Catch you at the restaurant. I'll get some apps. There might be some nachos left over.
No, you can't get apps. You'd finish them before they were there. Reflector Mage from Ethan. Now, the problem is if he targets any spirit, it's... I guess this forces the Drogskull Captain. Targets Supreme Phantom. Gains Hexproof. I mean, I guess your other option was what, to Reflector Mage the Noble Hierarch. That's whatever.
That's not terrible. I mean, Zane doesn't have that much mana available. I think that was the play, just given that the Captain's coming down no matter what.
Yeah, I guess if you target the Hierarch, he's going to, while he has 3 mana, go, okay, make Drogskull Captain.
Right.
All right, yeah. So then you... Yes.
Yeah, you at least get to bounce something that way.
He says, what's in hand? Zan says, hey, man, here, I'll show you. They're still here.
Yeah. 2 Spell Quellers and a second Supreme Phantom. So Zan's team getting a little bit better at blocking all the time.
Yeah. That Mantis Rider exalts to a 5, but Zan can block that. And once... Like, the problem is that Ethan does not control the air here.
And with that extra Supreme Phantom coming down on Zan's next turn, that means the Rattle Chains is threatening lethal. So Ethan will have to chump block.
Right, so the Rattle Chains is a 2-1. The Captain Phantom makes it a 5-4 and then exalts to 7-6. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's another reason that you would have liked to have Reflector Mage, one of those Noble Hierarchs.
So Thalia's Lieutenant will swing in.
Yeah, still have a couple Noble Hierarchs pumping it.
And there we go. That's so the Lieutenant is a 7-7.
Yeah, one shy of lethal. It might be worth throwing the Wanderer in front of it, though. If you just take it, that means that fetch lands are not mana sources. Whereas you might see a sequence where you draw a fetch land for turn, the Rattle Chains is chump blocked by Kitesail Freebooter, and you really want to be able to cast that Collected Company.
Yeah, and that's why I was going to go back and think, was there a way that there's a punish for that Reflector Mage play? And if Zan draws a land here, actually went to 1.
There are lands that are not fetch lands. You know,
like that, there we go.
That's a pretty good one. I don't really understand Zan showing that before attacks. Or is this diversified swing just lethal? He still has the Supreme Phantom he can flash in. So there's 2 blockers. You can put those in front of...
Yeah, the biggest...
The Rattle Chains is the largest. It's base 4. And there's a 3. And you're facing down...
It's a bunch of 2, yeah.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, because the Phantom will trigger the Wanderer, it'll pump it again, and it'll pump the other Phantom.
Yeah, you have 3, 2, 3, and 4 as the powers. So it's 5 will go. So the smallest 2 are a 2 and a 3. You put the Phantom into play, that's a 3 and a 4, that's 7. This should be lethal. Supreme Phantom in play. So the unblocked creatures, the Drogskull Captain is a 4. And the Supreme Phantom's a 3. Ethan's at 7.
Yep.
And Syed going to take game 1. Let's slow down here. You know, at first I thought humans would win this race, but if I might change my tune on this. Once both players get 5 creatures in play, it looks like Bant Spirits has the better deck.
Yeah, the flying is just huge.
Well, they also have more Lords.
Lords are also quite nice.
I remember I was actually talking with some humans pilots about some of the tougher matchups, and at one point I had heard some people say that Merfolk can actually be a tough matchup for similar reasons.
Sure.
And I can see Banta's at this point seems to be a souped-up version of Merfolk.
Yeah.
I could see it.
Despite some mana issues, yeah, Zan did pull really far ahead in that game. I'd buy it.
All right, well, let's look at the sideboards then. Starting on Zan's Syed side, he's got 3 Geist of St. Traft, 2 Thalia, Guardian of Thraben, 2 Unified Will, 2 Worship, 2 Rest in Peace, 2 Stony Silence, and 2 Damping Sphere. I don't know if I want anything.
Yeah, the one card you consider is Worship, but if it is just true that Zan is the aggressor in the matchup, that card's going to water your hands down.
So no sideboard from Zan means that there's an opportunity for Ethan to improve the matchup. At least one card I like here. He has 3 Sin Collector, 2 Izzet Staticaster, 2 Direfleet Daredevil, 2 Auriok Champion, 2 Damping Sphere, 2 Restoration Angel, a Heron's Grace Champion, and a Reclamation Sage.
The 2 Izzet Staticasters, they can have really good windows.
Yeah.
Now, they're going to run into some problems against these Lords, but if you get them on really early, they can be really powerful. The 2 Restoration Angels can make blocks against a lot of these flying creatures in mini spots. I wouldn't be surprised to reach for those. And I actually like Heron's Grace Champion a good amount. That lifelink, that can make that evasion on Zan's side matter a lot less.
Yeah, Heron's Grace Champion seems good. The Staticasters seem excellent. Yeah, Restoration Angel, I was finding that in Ethan's spot, I wanted to have more flyers. And the fact that Restoration Angel flies is likely enough here for me.
Right. There are windows where Direfleet Daredevil can do some good work. If you steal a Path to Exile, or if your mana agrees with you, sometimes you could hit a Collected Company. So that one does seem fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so much heavier sideboarding on Ethan's side than on Zan's.
You assume that should help. Zan, of course, winning our most recent Open. That was back in Atlanta 2 weeks ago. Looks like could go again here with a win. That one was with Infect.
Some invisible stalkers in the sideboard.
Yeah.
That's taken off. I've seen a few moto lists with that.
This time it's Geist of St. Traft in the sideboard.
It's a little more on theme. It's a spirit you see. I wonder if Geist gets significantly better now that you have more Lords.
I mean, the fact that I can go Supreme Phantom into Geist of St. Traft is appealing.
Yes. Yeah, you're able to attack into more creatures.
A mulligan for Ethan King. So, you see behind Ethan there, you can tell by the hat, that's Aaron Barrett, our most recent Invitational winner. If you haven't seen it, the token, this 1/1 soldier, that was where he chose to have his likeness. We're now debuting it here. It's on the coverage this weekend. See that one for Elspeth's Son's Champion. The card he wanted the soldier token for. It's in print. There you'll get a chance to get it at Opens and Classics starting mid-August at our Dallas Open. You can get it before then by... It will ship with orders from StarCityGames.com beginning July 27th. Be giving what opens throughout the rest of Season 2.
Great use of color on the token there. Much congratulations to our Season 1 Invitational champion.
Yeah. This weekend, he and Jadine Clemperens they needed a 5-win win streak, I believe, to make it into day 2, and this is number 5.
The time that we showed the token, seems like Barrett has left the arena. When we cut back, he wasn't sitting there.
Noble Hierarchs from both players to start. Yeah, he had to come and run onto the camera.
That's got to be really taxing physically.
We see turn 2, Aether Vial, and Champion of the Parish. Yeah, it's an invention, Ryan. You got a square.
Yeah. All right.
How have you not gotten Nimble Mongoose attacks for 3 yet? We've seen those all day.
Some combination of it either didn't happen and or I wasn't paying that much attention. You know, I whichever one. And this time, Ether's going to be our player to miss the second land drop, so the Aether Vial makes that less of a factor. Often that can be just good.
Now, Drog Skull Captain, turn 2 from Zan. Off of Noble Hierarch.
And unless Ethan can produce a land on this turn that should be able to dodge a Reflector Mage, then a Phantasmal Image or another Captain will be really good for Zan.
He's got a, is it Staticaster? Wouldn't mind just shooting down the Noble Hierarch if we don't have the Reflector Mage. And there's the Staticaster. Pumps Champion of the Parish. Yeah, takes care of that Noble Hierarch. And it does kill his own Noble Hierarch. Zan's quick to point out.
And Ethan,
I think he forgot
like, wait
that.
a minute.
I'm pretty sure he forgot it because he missed that cost him a point of damage.
It did. Yeah, he went a little fast and loose with that Staticaster activation.
I forgot it too. I'll own up to it. I'd have made the same play.
Yeah, I noticed by the fact that you were excited about it.
Yeah, Phantasmal copying Drogskull Captain. That's one way to really make your opponent's Is It Staticaster a moot point, is if all your creatures from here on out have hexproof.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know, hitting that Hierarch, you have to trade yours, but that's really the only thing the Staticaster is going to do this game.
Well, kill your own Hierarch, apparently.
And now,
who knew?
You'll never be able to target spirits again.
So now Ethan just has to race.
This is how we learned.
Aether Vial will put Kite Sail Freebooter into play. That pumps Champion of the Parish. In response, Zan's going to path to exile the champ.
Likely that's the only spell in hand.
Yeah, it is. You can tell by how he's flashing the cards. Rattle Chains.
Moorland Haunt.
Moorland Haunt. All right. Like
Love it.
And Supreme Phantom.
Moorland Haunt also makes spirit tokens.
Oh, it does. Now they're going to be like 3/3 hexproof spirit tokens. That's
soon to be 4/4.
I don't know that Ethan can win this race, Ryan. He's
really far behind. In particular, casting this Is It Staticaster, just introducing a creature that doesn't have any power, that's going to put him pretty far back. And Kite Sail Freebooter are pretty mopey in these damage ratios to begin with.
Well, yeah, we have these cards like Kite Sail Freebooter and Is It Staticaster. I mean, these don't attack.
Yeah, this is looking to be a quick one for Huang, Syed, and John.
They needed the win to make day 2. They did not disappoint. And now with Supreme Phantom, I got to say, I like Bant Spirits quite a bit more.
Moorland Haunt is a card that I played quite a lot when it was standard legal.
He's very good in the blue-white Delver strategy.
Yep.
With cards like Rune Chanter's Pike.
Yep. Yeah, you got to Thought Scour yourself, and milling creatures or spells was both good. You either got to make spirits with Moorland Haunt, or pump up your Pike, or flash something back with Snapcaster Mage.
That was back when Phantasmal Image was the best removal spell in blue.
Yeah, you used to be able to Phantasmal Image away legendary creatures, specifically Geist of St. Traft, from the last troll. I miss that rule. It's probably better. It's probably better. But
when your clone is the blue Doomblade, I mean, it's
blue should get more Doomblades.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Blue does not get enough Doomblades. Wall of Mist, the most recent addition to the Blue Doomblade Club.
Look, I want to have Essence Scatter and Doomblade in the same color. Is that too much to ask?
Yeah. Did I fly too close to the sun? Ooh.
Swing back for 6.
Oh, no. So Zan's hand, he has Rattle Chain, Supreme Phantom. So he can just flash both of those in for damage here. So actually, this is only a 3.
No.
That's not enough. That's not enough. The double block here is still good.
Okay. Here's Rattle Chains. Yeah, I'm curious about this. So it gives the other creature flash. Supreme Phantom can have flash, but he still loses his Drogskull Captain, right?
Yeah, it's just a 4.
And now that means...
Now we're...
Wait, now the image... Whoa, did Zan just miscount?
Yeah, that was not a good attack by Zan.
Both players have made mistakes this game, and where it looked like Zan was going to run away with it, I think he's given some back to... in a big way to Ethan.
I still like Zan's position, but a Reflector Mage on that Supreme Phantom would break this wide open.
Right. Doesn't have that yet. It's another Kite Sail Freebooter. It's just a land in Zan's hand.
All right. Given that being a land, I like the position last. The Moorland Haunt is worth some value, though.
Yeah, I mean, this is all contingent on Supreme Phantom living, however. Because once it's gone, that Is It Staticaster is doing work.
Yes. Yeah, it's a pretty big misstep by Zan.
All right, so 11 life points apiece. Aether Vial puts the last card into play for Ethan. It is Mantis Rider.
And he must have been thinking, just because these 1 and a blue effects, Phantasmal Image, Supreme Phantom, they both pump. In his mind, Rattle Change must have read like a lord.
Yeah, I can see that. Swing. Rattle Chains blocks and Supreme Phantom blocks. Rattle Chains trading away with the Mantis Rider. Julian John takes game number 2 in Standard. So now a win from Julian or Zan will end the round. Red-black aggro tying it up with black-blue mid-range.
So here, we're going to see Zan making 2/2 tokens for the next few turns. It's the floor for what he's able to do. Given the Temple Garden being put on the battlefield tapped there, you don't expect any additional follow-up. He just has a green mana left over. Likely it would be shocking if he had like a Path to Exile.
Swing with both freebooters. This means Zan can trade a spirit token with a freebooter.
Yeah, you get the block, and then the Staticaster will finish the spirit token off after combat.
He's trying to decide if he wants to block with Supreme Phantom. I don't think it's very risky.
Yeah, the Vial is currently on 3, which means the card you're concerned about continues to just be Reflector Mage. There's not some human lord that comes in on 3. You're just kind of saving a point for free by blocking with the Phantom here. Let's see if Ethan finishes off that Spirit. There he goes.
He does, yeah. Zan down to 10. And Ethan 1 card in hand, same with Zan. And just be a pass.
I suppose second Staticaster. That's the fear.
Yeah.
Blocking with the Phantom. And that can even be post-combat. It could be Phantasmal Image on the Staticaster.
I think both players are just hanging out until they can get a top deck. Now, on Zan's side, he has slightly better top decks. I think specifically Collected Company, it's just an incredible top deck from here.
Yeah, that would be huge. Looks like at least 1 land in Ethan's holdings in unclaimed territory. So it's not even the redraw of Horizon Canopy. I want to say Phantasmal Image is the spell available.
It is. It looks like Phantasmal Image and a land. So Phantasmal Image on Is It Staticaster, if he can, is good. He can cast it. He has Ancient Ziggurat.
Yeah. The argument for waiting, you'll be able to clean up more of the spirit tokens all at once.
Yeah.
You don't want to find yourself in a situation where Zan draws Collected Company and just gets another Spirit Lord online.
Well, here's Mantis Rider putting in up Aether Vial. That was the draw for Ethan. Now the question is, which one would you like to image, the Staticaster or the Mantis Rider? And that's actually pretty close.
With Zan at 10, yeah, the Mantis Rider is mighty inviting.
And on Zan's spot, he can't actually... I guess he can double block a Mantis Rider with 2 Spirit tokens.
Right.
I think that line still means I want a second Staticaster because of this Moorland Haunt.
There's 2 creatures left over. Yeah, it's the only spell available, which is what makes it so tough.
And that's what he'll get, a pair of Staticasters.
And now you can attack, and if Zan makes the extra token, then you just fire off the Staticasters before blocks.
Right. So Zan's only real play is to just chump block the Mantis Rider. Ethan will swing with both. He actually is going to put Kite Sail Freebooter into play too, in the attack too, rather.
Yeah, I don't love that attack because Italia's Lieutenant does make the Freebooter way more relevant if he's able to draw one.
Yeah.
I guess he just gets the Staticaster before damage, so it's fine. It's a wash.
Yeah, Zan goes to 7. It does mean that Zan can, I guess in theory, hit back with another Moorland Haunt token.
Right. Yeah, leaving him at the blocker could be worth something.
Right. Selfless Spirit from Syed. Passes.
Another card that can get double Staticasted.
Yeah, it does mean that Ethan will likely have to take a turn off from attacking to do that.
Yeah, you can fire the Staticasters at the Spirit. It will sacrifice itself, and then your attacks don't matter because the other creatures are just indestructible. And this feels like it's going the way of King right now.
Yeah, it still does. It's been back and forth here as both players kind of... We saw a misstep on both sides, and it does feel like King's back in the advantaged spot.
Right. We're still in the territory where Zan can peel a good collected company right now. Even a Drawing Skull Captain could be significant. Just as a singular card, not even just as a collected company hit. Mantis Rider coming across. Zan makes that Spirit token. It doesn't get better over time. If you don't find something, the Staticaster eventually deals with them, so you may as well take advantage of this window for the Selfless Spirit. You probably have to draw your Lord on this turn anyway.
And the swing, whoa.
Ooh, and the Mantis Rider, yeah, Spirit token, Supreme Phantom, because those Staticasters are fired off, they just get to eat the Mantis Rider in combat.
Hold on, yeah.
That's going to give Zan more time. Yeah, that flying clock, that's gone.
Yeah. Well, we had Selfless Spirit still being, those creatures were indestructible that turn.
Right.
So swing for 2. Ethan will drop to 9.
Yeah.
Is it Staticaster? It's going to pump the team, so now we get Kite Sail Freebooter up to a 2-3. Also, we get the Staticasters to 1-4. Let's not forget that part.
Pretty messed up that creature doesn't have Defender.
And now but actually 2-3 for Freebooter is very relevant. You see Zan has to chump away the Spirit token. He can't put Supreme Phantom in front of it because of the Staticasters.
Right.
Zan's still just waiting on something like Collected Company to help him out here.
Mm-hmm. He has a good mix of things. Lords that would have been good, but he does have a higher density of cards that don't really matter here. Your Mausoleum Wanderers, certainly plenty of lands that don't matter. Noble Hierarchs.
Yeah, shoots down Spirit token. Go back over to Ethan. Looks like he's found another creature. Looks Champion of the Parish. Sure, that'll pump Thalia's Lieutenant. And at this point, he's just got Critical Mass going. Swings with both Thalia's Lieutenant and Kite Sail Freebooter, a 2-2 and a 2-3. Zan's running out of turns here. He's running out of creatures for Moorland Haunt. That's the last one. Spirit token before blocks. Ethan's going to shoot it down. Supreme Phantom can jump in front of the Lieutenant, but Zan's still taking 2. He goes to 5.
And if Zan doesn't have something already, I think this is the last turn.
Yeah.
Draws Path to Exile. I think there's just too many different things that you have to answer.
Yeah, I mean, even the Staticaster's attacking for 1 is pretty real right now.
Right.
And Zan's got too many lands. He'll pass.
Any human here makes for a very scary Alpha Strike.
Phantasmal Image.
That's
That's
any
great.
human.
That's Thalia's Lieutenant again.
Right.
And Phantasmal Image will be cast. I'd copy the Lieutenant. I think that one seems pretty decent. You can also copy another Staticaster while you're at it.
Yeah.
Sure.
All this stuff is pretty good. It's tough to imagine Ethan losing from here. Zan's hand looks really heavy on lands. Has that 1 Path to Exile.
Kind of consulting with his teammates. I don't think it matters what he chooses.
Yeah. Between those two things, the Staticaster and the Lieutenant.
Yeah. Copies Thalia's Lieutenant. And he swings with, oh, would you look at 4 creatures? And he's going to swing in, and Zan's going to lay his hand out because Julian John has saved Zan from this game. This back and forth game, we don't know where it's going, and we may never know. Julian John winning 2 games to 1, Bob Huang winning 2 games to 0 means Zan Say's team is heading on to day 2.
Right. Don't know how we got there. Don't know where we were going. Doesn't matter.
Ethan, I think that was the Alpha Strike. We'll say